Alright, we're into tier 53 faction war. This is Argent Shelf, Redux and Orks versus Tyranids. For the blue Orky team, we've got Professor Ragin'Maru as a Warboss, a melee hero that can walk through object, very good offense, disruption and support from the front lines. Looks like it's the Freebooters DLC from Relic. Alongside here, two Mekboys. First up is sexycan. We also have Hunter. These guys are teleporting heroes that fight range combat, put out some good damage, can also support, disrupt, build structures and repair. Looks like these guys have the same colour scheme, which is not going to be confusing at all. Red Tyranids, we've got Floid as a Lictor Alpha. Melee specialist, going to infiltrate and disrupt with some awesome offense and a bit of support too. He's going to cap this and go all invisible like. Let's watch. Double Termagants out for all the Tyranid players, looks like. There he goes. Alongside here, PaperBaG as a Ravener Alpha. Tunneling command, great mobility, awesome offense and a bit of support too. Begins in range combat but can get specialized melee weapons. Very slimy or shiny looking over there. And rounding off the teams, Broodwich is a big stompy Hive Tyrant, very durable commander, walks through objects and cannot be suppressed. Some powerful offense, disruption and support. Begins in melee combat with a basic synapse. So it's going to be a good idea for PaperBaG to actually keep his little Tyranids near that allied Hive Tyrant for some basic synapse early on. Oh no, we have a 2-to-1 on the west side. It's sexycan has come over here to fight Floid. Floid, recognizing the double, is now backing off under infiltration on Lictor Alpha. Most likely we're going to see Shooter Boy knob leaders up pretty quickly, at least for Maru to spot that Lictor Alpha. And I guess Weird Boys and War Trucks tier 2. Tyranids might want to get some Tyrant guards out so that they can not be stunned completely by the Weird Boy. Maybe even charge in and disrupt his stun and stop him getting it off there. But we'll see. Tier 2. Spawn Mine is doing their thing. Got one good detonation off, doing some damage over time to those Shooter Boys now. Lictor Alpha gets away, Warboss gets away, but Floyd does get his power decapped. Meanwhile, the 2-to-1 on the other side, we've got some dead Orks over here. Hive Tyrant decapping the VP. Node was bashed and is being repurchased. So decent pushes both sides. And decent defenses too. No massive amount of losses. Don't think anyone lost a full squad. Those Shooter Boys got pretty low. What is this? This is Sluggers versus Termagants. Ravener Alpha's there too, and he retreats out. Doesn't want to mess with double Sluggers. Those are Marus and sexycans. We've got looters up for two players here. Sexycan's already on the field, and Maru's on the way. Power's being retaken, and they push out to the VP2. There is a WAAAGH banner over here, which gives some nice passive buffs, and an active ability that gives you some more buffs. Good thing to take them down when you can. Warrior Brood on the way for Floyd. PaperBaG dropping one of his Termagants in that fight with the Sluggers, I believe. He's got a Ravener Brood up though. We'll see if he replaces the Termagants, because they do give you that utility of crippling poison in tier 1. And you can't discount their damage too. We've got double upgraded Termagants on this west side from Floyd. Warrior Brood is up. We'll see if he gets Barb Strangler. He might be going for a melee build. Floyd loves to use his Gene Stealers, so he might be having those Warrior Brood out with a view to getting their adrenal glands. Oh no, he does get a Barb Strangler up. He could replace it with adrenal glands in tier 2, of course. Cormagaunt's grabbing some stuff on retreat and eating it. It was just some Sluggers though, but they do get away with user choppers on them. Oh, electric armor. Are we going to see double electric armor here? sexycan has it up. What about Hunter? No sign of it yet. He's back at base. Mid is turning red, kind of. Ravener Alpha in a melee fight with a Mekboy. Meanwhile, west side is kicking off. Barb Strangler Warrior Brood with that awesome suppression weapon. 35 damage per shot. But they're going to run into looters if they keep pushing up here. Nice suppression on the Shooter Boys. Doesn't want to run into the looters. I think he knows they're there. He can't sneak in. He can't sneak in because there's knob leaders on these Shooter Boys who will spot that Lictor Alpha. When he's tier 2, he can get the leap and just jump on the looters, but that's tier 2. Painboy up on the field for Hunter. Gonna fight a Hive Tyrant, I think. Very brave Painboy. He's way out in front of the army, so he's a little bit isolated. Uses his heal over time on himself and keeps chasing. Gets knocked over by a nice special and does get away. little bit sloppy there. Could have stayed back closer to his army, I think. I think he was trying to finish off that Hive Tyrant and then wanted to tie up the Barb Strangler, because that's what it can do otherwise. Here comes the Mekboy of Hunter with battery pack and Daka big shooter, tying up the Barb Strangler in melee combat. And here comes the Daka to follow up. Look at that DPS there. Gonna drop a Warrior Brood model soon. There's the retreat, and they do get away. We have burners up on the sluggers, gives them a couple of power weapons and some burners. And now they're gonna burn down the generators over there. And blue team are gonna steal the VP, but red have the western side thanks to Floid. Gonna kill the Warboss here, looks like. There we go. Well, do you have anything, Mr. Lictor? No, you don't. Starts at 620 hit points these days and has had his flesh hooks nerfed a couple of times. Now does less damage than it used to and pulls for less range or distance. Hive Tyrant with his rending talons. Bad news for any sluggers that want to try and get into combat. That seismic roar is really powerful in tier 1. Looters here are going to cap. These guys are going to take this. Are they going to look at the power here? Doesn't look like they are. These guys don't have burners. Warboss is back to his feet thanks to a allied Mekboy over there. Contested power right in the middle. Very rarely sees generators, but it's a good idea to node it and keep it noded. That +4 power does add up throughout the game. Ravenna Alpha having issues with trying to take it down there. There goes the WAAAGH from the Orks, an ability that most Ork units have, buffing their speed and damage. Looters setting up with that dangerous suppression weapon. Really bad news for this blob of Tyranids backing off there. Could burrow strike, but these Raveners are very low, so they don't want to do that. Ravenna Alpha with no war gear. We might see the classic Ravenna Alpha build, the ranged build with his Corrosive Devourer and Synapse. Tier 2 all round. Well, apart from Broodwich still tier 1. He does have Barb Strangler Warriors and an upgraded Hive Tyrant with improved Synapse and Rending Talons and upgraded tier 1 units too. So he spent a fair amount of power in tier 1. Oh, Warboss is going to go down again, I think. Maybe. Yes, does. Barely. Just about went down. Hormagaunt's eating some looters. Can they finish him off here? This is a big deal if they do. And they do finish him off. Double Raveners now for PaperBaG. Getting the Venom Brood up for range Synapse. Now what do the Orks do in tier 2? Ragin'Maru might need some support here. It's down to sluggers and shooters, replacing some shooters now. Burners on gens. Painboy meleeing another one too. Oh, there's the electric armor. Just makes the Tyranids back the hell off. So they can't set up those firing positions for the Barb Strangler and his Termagants. There's Crippling Poison. Suppression 2. Warrior Brood are up and they're getting their ranged Synapse. Immediately will buff the range damage of non-Synapse ranged Tyranid creatures such as those Raveners and Termagants. Also increases their health, which is pretty nice. Spawn Mines dropped in by Floid. Doing their thing. And can they push through to the power here? Looks like some stuff has died up here trying to bash it before. Venom Brood will help you bash power a lot. And that might be a pretty quick bash, actually. And we also have the Synapse Aura for damage from the Ravenna Alpha. Should be a very quick bash, in fact. Spawn Mines continue to be annoying, causing these shooter boys to switch targets and now retreat off. Warrior Brood are going to cap here. War Banner's still up. Here we see the bash attempts. Look at that. Very quick bash. Looters are there to suppress, though. Burrow Strike coming in. Weird boys right there. Need to force melee combat now, fellas, I think. But there's that Warp Vomit. Now they're getting shot to pieces. Needs to retreat them off. There we go. Does get 2 generators at least. And the node. Yes. Zap going in. That will jump from target to target, doing damage each time. And there's the full retreat. And it's a good idea to retreat the hell out of there. Might have retreated a little bit earlier and kept them in play. Just backed off, maybe. Weird boys up for sexycan and Hunter, and it's a death dread for Ragin'Maru that Floyd's gonna need to deal with. Does have a zone throat with the focus warp blast, doing some decent damage to vehicles, but that's pretty much it in terms of AV over here. Don't think he's spotted the death dread yet. 4-1-2, 3-5-2 on the VPs. So around about 60 lead for the Orks, not very much. As players start to think about maybe going tier 3 with some tier 2 units already on the field. There's a zone throw here from Broodwich. Also has a Venom Brood for some anti-vehicle. Death Dread getting their burners and bits, making it more of a threat, more hit points and burners to get rid of these generators. There's that electric armor again from sexycan. It's level 3, also has custom force field. Making all those Tyranids there rethink their positioning. Lictor Alpha goes after him, but he's in trouble. That's a really nice special attack. Or was that a scythe? I believe it was a scythe. So really nicely timed scythe there from Floid. Also has toxic cysts. 400 to 352 on VP's 1-to-1 cap. Barbashango doing its thing, but the Death Dread is going to have its way and take down all of these gens. Looks like, yes, very quick bash there. Ouch. Nasty basic attack from that weird boy. There's the Warp Vomit too. He's causing all sorts of problems for these Tyranids. They need to try and focus that guy down, and they're doing so. They get him off the field at least. Zap goes in. We'll jump to the zone throw, but I think, there we go. Tyrant Guard on the way for Floid. I think the Orks might go tier 3 with this. Maybe Ragin'Maru will get something to replace this Death Dread, which is going to go down. Venom Brood making short work of it from PaperBaG, helping out Floid there. They've done a good job supporting sides, I think, the mid players. A stun there from the weird boy, I guess. Yeah, then he retreated out. Capillary Tower goes up, providing buffs for nearby Tyranids, a speed buff and a sight range buff, I think. Flesh Hook, oh, doesn't actually pull him back because he's in the middle of an animation. Power Claw now in play, 95 DPS, heavy melee damage, big threat to everyone. I can't actually select the Warboss here, there we go. Spiky armor and trophy rack too. Can very easily decimate this Lictor Alpha. Down he goes in retreat, I think, yes. Kept him in that fight a little bit too long, Floid. He's getting the cap and might be able to force this Warboss off the field too. I mean, is that worth it? I don't think it's worth a Death Dread for a single power bash. Didn't do a whole lot else with it. 1-to-1 cap, 400 to 308. There's that Tyrant Guard for Floydy. 2,500 hit points of super heavy infantry armor, and it's pretty scary in melee combat too. Has heavy melee damage and splash. Can charge and self-heal. Very vulnerable when alone though. Incredibly slow if it's out of Synapse range. But does have the Warrior Brood here for Synapse support. And they get the Orks out of there. Going to take that west side back. Orks putting a lot of pressure on mid. Looks like they may be able to actually get through to the VP. Or Power Bash. Take it down Capillary Towers as they spot them. For some nice red. What is this? Orks power bashing. Sorry, Tyranids power bashing. This is PaperBaG with his very quick range Synapse power bash here. Raven Alpha himself is on the west side as a Capillary Tower too. Splitting his forces relatively well here, PaperBaG. Got a full bash, yes he did. Did not decap though, but still very nicely done. Raveners with their decent speed can get out of there, I think. Oh, maybe not. He stopped to take a shot there, which I think was a mistake. Does get everything away, but now it might be a 2-to-1 fight on the west side. Which is Floyd's Zone Throat, Floyd's Tyrant Guard. Floyd goes tier 3, as does PaperBaG, as does Broodwich actually, and sexycan just hit tier 3. 367 to 308 on the VPs. Starting to get a little bit closer with a 2-to-1 cap now. Can they shut down this Warboss and stop him ripping things apart? He's going after the Tyrant Guard. Tank Busters also getting shots in. Orks don't really have easy access to plasma weapons or power weapons, so having to rely on Tank Busters to damage down the Tyrant Guard there. They can get flash kits in tier 3 with blasters, would do a lot of damage to a Tyrant Guard. 353, 308. Power bash west side. What is this? Spore mines? It is spore mines. Not going to do a whole lot to a Warboss. Waste of red, I think. East side, meanwhile. Oh, lots of Tyranids dying. Down goes the Hive Tyrant too. Capillary Tower up to support them. Pain Boy doing some work. He's getting low though. Zone Throat needs to be careful here. So do these Warrior Brood models. Oh, Mekboy teleports in. You can't actually tie up a Zone Throat. He doesn't have any melee weapons, so it won't fight you back. It will just keep on shooting like that. And since the Mekboy wasn't doing a lot of melee damage there, he wasn't too worried. Kicking off big time. West side, there's electric armor. Orks are pushing through relatively well each time. As we often see in these Ork versus Tyranid matches, is we see big swings in momentum as each team pushes through and overextends a little bit and then gets pushed back again. We've got a Nob squad on the way for sexycan. Professor Ragin'Maru goes tier 3. Tyrant Guard is still around for Floid. Bad news for these looters. Almost got a model with one hit there, I think. 353. 268 on VPs. 2-1 now for the Orks. Not sure what Hunter's up to. He's got tons and tons of red. So he could drop a nasty nuke. Most likely saving for Nobs as well, looks like. No sign of flash kits coming in. Flash kits might be like 450 rec or something though. Tank busters are okay, yes they are. Keeping this Tyrant Guard around is a pain in the ass for Professor Ragin'Maru, that's for sure. Not seen a Brood nest dropped over on this west side from Broodwich to help out. Not seen a Brood nest anywhere actually. I guess maybe he's got one and it's been taken down. There's a Ravener tunnel. Pomegaunt's on his eastern flank. What are they up to? Just keeping watch, maybe waiting for a fight to blossom elsewhere and they can go and bash the power by themselves. Tier 3 for everyone now. Are we going to see Neurothropes to help fight the Nobs? Are we going to see just monstrous creatures all around? Here's that first Nob squad from sexycan. Elite melee infantry can go toe to toe with anything in the game, but are incredibly expensive to fully upgrade. Have their Nob leader and Mina and Greener over here. I don't think the hammers are... I think hammers are the luxury purchase. You want the Nob leader and you want Mina and Greener, but the hammers really are a luxury if it helps you. If you can delay hammers to get a second Nob squad out quicker, I think that's worth it. There's a Brood nest, just as I was saying that I couldn't see one. But it's not enough to help the Tyranids in this attack here. Nobs are just going to trounce everything. West side. Flesh hook on the Warboss. He's only level 2. Surprising. Lictor Alpha runs away. He's also only level 2. Seems like a lot of stuff has died over here for those guys to only be level 2. Down goes that Warrior Brood model. Levels up the Warboss to 3, or at least helps to do so. 325, 242 on VPs. Warboss might get caught by the Tyrant Guard. I think he's going to be okay. But here comes some support from sexycan. He's been very quick to pounce on this west side. Perhaps slightly quicker than PaperBaG actually. Nob squad, nothing much that Floid can do about that apart from trying to keep them suppressed. But there's the frenzy popped. That zone throw needs to run away. What is it doing? Retreat, just retreat. Tyrant Guard charging through for some disruption there. Keeps the zone throw in play. Oh, Mekboy went down. Explode actually does something. Look at that. Some knockback, little bit of damage there. I think the damage he does when he explodes depends on how much energy he had when he died or something like that. Psychic Scream is up for the Hive Tyrant. That's going to help fight Nob squads. The first Carnifex that I've seen is on the way for Broodwich. Might be a Barb Strangler as he fights that east side. Nob squad for Hunter though. And a triple cap for the Orks. Looks like they got tier 3 at just the right time. Got that first Nob squad up just the right time. Struggle to get their tier 3 stuff up, have the Tyranids. They've bled heavily each fight. Oh, look at this. Floid actually got the first Carnifex up. He's gone for that Barb Strangler. Very powerful weapon. It's like a suppressing plasma cannon, basically, on a giant 30-foot alien. Triple cap now. Looking bad for the Tyranids. Another Carnifex on the way for PaperBaG. Broodwich is hitting the field right now. Is that enough to get the Tyranids out of this? I think Floid is going to take the west side. Nob squad now for Maru. Floid does have double termagants to slow him down. Also the Barb Strangler, of course. Might be enough to deal with him. Just wait until they have Frenzy and then use your Crippling Poisons. and chain them nicely. Carnifex here without an upgrade starts off in a melee state, but its melee upgrade will give it some nice hit point increase. What is this? Oh, it's Mega Rumbler. Carnifex fighting his knobs. I believe it does have melee resistance in its default state, I think. Maybe not though. Kills a knob over there. West side is now back in Tyranid hands, but they've lost their natural VP and it's 325 to 58. They're getting it back though. Corrosive Devourer on the field now for the Raven Alpha and Regenerate. One knob squad for each Orky player. Here is Maru's. Needs to be disciplined with his double termagants here, Floid. There's one of them. There's Use Your Choppers and Ardboys. 2 global buffs from the Warboss there. He's doing well. Keeping at maximum distance whenever he can. Keeping that suppression on. Tyrant Guard getting into a fight is a bad fight for him. Knob squad will tear it apart. 1-to-1 cap now. Floyd doing a really good job controlling his knobs. But they were distracted by the Tyrant Guard, which they easily take down there. Does get them off the field though. This is PaperBaG's Carnifex in its default state. What did you get, Mr. Broodwich? You're going for Thornback to go toe-to-toe with the knobs. What about you, Mr. Hive? You're still level 2 with Rending Talons, Improved Synapse, and that Psychic Scream. Barb Strangler Carnifex taking a lot of damage here. Tank Bus is getting shots in. Needs to be very careful. Big suppression hit. Now needs to go back to base and heal up, I think. So do that Warrior Brood. 2-to-1 cap for the Orks. Don't need to get this west side back right now. And hold it for a pretty long time. They've got a Carnifex each, which could even up the playing field here. We're going Barb Strangler for PaperBaG, looks like. But we have a looted tank for sexycan, which will be able to put pressure on the Carnifex without the knobs having to get in close. Mekboy's down over here. What about you, Hunter? What you got for me? You're getting Mega Rumbler too. No super tough beam for the knobs then. They also have Barb Strangler Warriors, who have their Thorax Swarm. Could help in dealing with this tank. Look how much damage the looted tank has taken already. They do have them Venom Broods up still. Wow, got that thing the hell out of there. Carnifex charging in. Need to try and kill that Pain Boy if they can. I think he should be focusing on the Pain Boy here. Not sure why those Warrior Brood were getting so close. But the Mega Rumbler goes off. Oh, and that's a Rocks. Set up by the Warp Vomit. Gets all this stuff off the field. Didn't do a lot of damage to them, but does get them off the field. Now the Carnifex is super isolated here. Warrior Brood, what are you up to? You need to get a shot off. Not sure what those guys are doing. Oh, but they have distracted the Knob Squad, which are now chasing down the Warrior Brood. Here comes some Hormagaunts. Not sure where they're going. Oh, Carnifex is going to die here. That was a Barb Strangler Carnifex caught by buffed knobs. Not a good place for them to be. That was actually Ragin'Maru buffing sexycan's knobs with his user choppers. Pain, pain, pain. That could be it. Dropping that Carnifex could be it. Because how do they hold the mid without it? Going to be very tough. Warboss is over here too. 279 to 21 on VPs. Floyd needs to come over. I think he has done. Yeah, there he is. Still holding on to that 2-to-1. Can they kill this mech? He's level 7. Holy crap. And he does have custom force field still. So can teleport in and knock stuff around. Warrior Brood needs to be careful. Carnifex needs to be careful. Here comes the knobs. Need such discipline with your termagants to fight them. Didn't quite have it there. Didn't cripple them as they were coming in. There were 2 squads though, to be fair. 269 to 21. Wonder if it's worth just getting more termagants and more crippling poison just to chain that together. They'll die so quickly though to range fire. Tank Buster Barrage, and down goes that Carnifex. I think that the Orks should be able to push through here and get the victory. But we shall see. Tyranids will get their natural back, which might be a quick 2-to-1, but they're going to lose the west. I don't think they can recover here, the Tyranids. They didn't deal with the knobs. Not easy to do so, but they were able to do their job. Down goes that node. Got nuke, says sexycan. So they can stop a cap. Oh, he's putting it over there. No, it's not. It's the foot of Gork. Boom. And there's the rocks. Gets those guys off the field. Massive damage to that warrior brood too. In fact, I think they got wiped out over there. Nasty, nasty nuke. There's a double cap for the Orks, and this game is over. Orks are going to take it. Tyranids, they haven't done super well in these 2017 faction wars, have they? I can't remember their record exactly, but I'm pretty sure they've lost like 4 more than they've won. Let's look at these heroes. End of the game. Lictor Alpha with Scything Talons, Toxic Cysts, and Menacing Visage. The level 6 Raven Alpha, Synapse, Regenerate, and Corrosive. What level was the Lictor? Level 3. Level 3 Hive Tyrant, Psychic Scream, Synapse, and Rending Talons. Mech's Hunter of Mech was down. The Mech of Hunter, I should say, had that big shooter. Sexycan, level 7, Beamy Death Gun, Electric Armor, and Custom Force Shield, and a level 5 Warboss at the end with Power Claw, Spiky Armor, and Trophy Rack. Just couldn't deal with the knobs, could they? Allowed the knobs to get in on the Carnifexes. The Carnifex over here was very, very far up. You could say that that was bad positioning from PaperBaG, but obviously he was there for a reason, shooting the crap out of stuff. But you just can't let knobs get on you like that. You can't let them. Got to use your termagants and got to keep your distance if you can. But there have you guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.